Carl Jung's concept of the shadow is one of the most transformative ideas in psychology. Essentially, the shadow is the part of the psyche that we suppress or deny. Those aspects of ourselves that we are uncomfortable with or that society has deemed unacceptable. But here's the catch. These hidden traits don't disappear. Instead, they fester in the unconscious mind, influencing our behavior and relationships in ways we often don't understand. The shadow is made up of everything we repress: our fears, our weaknesses, and even our unacknowledged strengths. Understanding the shadow is a crucial step in the process of individuation, Jung's term for achieving psychological wholeness. Jung teaches that the shadow is not inherently negative. It contains both the dark and light aspects of our nature. Repressing the shadow leads to psychological projection, where we unconsciously project our own unacknowledged traits onto others. This often results in judgment and conflict because we're projecting parts of ourselves that we refuse to face. However, when we consciously integrate the shadow, we stop projecting our inner darkness onto the world. This integration process isn't about eradicating these traits, but about accepting them and understanding how they fit into our totality. By doing so, we gain greater emotional resilience and start to embrace our full potential. The integration of the shadow involves a deep dive into the subconscious, where we confront those suppressed emotions, beliefs, and traits. It's not an easy process, but it's essential for personal growth. When you engage in self-reflection and begin to identify your shadow traits, you open the door to greater self-awareness and healing. The goal is to integrate these aspects into your conscious awareness, allowing you to act with authenticity and power. This shadow work can be a lifelong journey, but it is one of the most profound paths to self-discovery and psychological wholeness. Psychological projection is a powerful way that the shadow reveals itself in our daily lives, often without us even realizing it. When we're confronted with aspects of ourselves that we reject or don't want to face, we tend to project them onto others. For example, if we have repressed anger, we might perceive others as being angry or hostile towards us, even when they're not. This projection can cause unnecessary conflict and misunderstanding in relationships. The problem is that we are blind to our own projections, as they appear to us as part of the external world rather than aspects of our inner self. This is why projection can be such a tricky psychological defense mechanism. It distorts reality, making it harder to see ourselves clearly. The shadow doesn't just manifest as negative projections. It can also appear as exaggerated admiration or idealization of others. We may project our own unacknowledged talents or virtues onto people we admire, which can create unrealistic expectations or even unhealthy attachments. By doing this, we refuse to accept that these qualities reside within us, and instead place them outside of ourselves, on someone else. Jung argued that to truly understand projection, we must look at what we are unconsciously attaching to other people or situations. It's often the qualities or behaviors we least like in ourselves that we are most likely to project onto others. So, how do we stop projecting? The first step is self-awareness. By observing our judgments, reactions, and the way we see others, we can begin to recognize the shadow's influence. When you feel triggered by someone's behavior, ask yourself what part of that behavior might reflect something in you, something you have repressed or failed to acknowledge. This isn't about blaming yourself, but about taking responsibility for your inner world. By integrating these projected aspects, we move toward greater self-acceptance and emotional intelligence, creating more harmonious and authentic relationships in the process. Integrating the shadow is a transformative process that allows you to reclaim the suppressed traits and emotions that have been hidden in your unconscious mind. Carl Jung believed that the shadow contains both positive and negative qualities, and the key to personal growth is acknowledging and embracing both. The shadow isn't just about negative traits. It also holds untapped strengths, potential, and creativity that we've neglected or denied. When we reject parts of ourselves, we not only stun our emotional growth, but also prevent ourselves from reaching our full potential. Integration is the path to self-realization, as it allows us to become whole, embracing all aspects of who we are. The process of shadow integration requires self-reflection and deep emotional work. It involves confronting the aspects of ourselves that we find uncomfortable, whether it's suppressed anger, jealousy, or even our desires and ambitions that we've been taught to repress. But integrating these parts of ourselves doesn't mean acting out in unhealthy ways. Instead, it's about understanding the source of these traits and learning how to express them in a healthy, constructive manner. For example, if we've repressed our anger, we don't have to explode in rage, but we can learn to communicate our frustrations assertively and set healthy boundaries. This is how we start to heal and transform the shadow. One of the most powerful tools for integrating the shadow is emotional intelligence. By developing the ability to identify and process repressed emotions, we gain greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Journaling, meditation, and therapy are all useful practices for uncovering and integrating the shadow. When we begin to integrate our repressed traits, we start to feel more complete, authentic, and empowered. This integration process is essential for personal growth, as it enables us to become the best version of ourselves. It also leads to healthier relationships, as we stop projecting our unresolved issues onto others and begin to engage with the world in a more conscious, balanced way. Shadow work isn't just an abstract concept. It's a set of practical techniques that can lead to profound personal transformation. One of the simplest and most effective techniques for shadow work is journaling. By writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, you can begin to uncover the aspects of yourself that you've suppressed or rejected. The key is to write freely and honestly, without judgment. Reflect on moments when you felt triggered by someone or something. These are often clues to what's lurking in your shadow. Ask yourself why you reacted the way you did, and what aspects of yourself might be reflected in the situation. This self-reflection creates space for healing, helping you uncover hidden emotions and beliefs that are affecting your life. Another powerful method for shadow work is meditation. When you quiet the mind and sit in stillness, you create a safe space to observe your thoughts and feelings without attachment. Meditation helps you tune into your subconscious mind, where the shadow resides. You can use guided meditations specifically designed for shadow work, which help you connect with your hidden self and confront repressed emotions in a gentle, supportive way. The more you practice meditation, the more you begin to expand your consciousness, making it easier to recognize when the shadow is influencing your thoughts and actions. As you gain greater awareness, you can begin to consciously integrate these aspects of yourself. Affirmations and visualization are also highly effective techniques for shadow integration. While shadow work often involves confronting difficult emotions and traits, positive affirmations can help reframe your perception of these qualities. For example, if you've repressed feelings of anger, an affirmation like, "I am allowed to express my anger in healthy ways," can help you embrace that emotion without guilt or shame. Visualization is another tool you can use to imagine yourself confronting and integrating your shadow. Picture yourself standing face to face with your shadow and imagine it transforming into a positive force for growth. This combination of shadow work techniques, journaling, meditation, affirmations, and visualization, can accelerate your self-discovery and healing process, allowing you to reclaim your personal power and create lasting transformation. The concept of the collective shadow extends Carl Jung's work on the individual to the collective consciousness of society. Just as each person has a shadow, a collection of repressed thoughts, emotions, and traits, societies and cultures also harbor a collective shadow. This is the part of society that is denied, hidden, or ignored, often manifesting in the form of societal taboos, prejudices, and collective trauma. When entire groups of people suppress certain aspects of their identity or history, these repressed elements don't just disappear. They influence the collective behavior and the culture at large. For example, racism, inequality, and other social injustices often stem from the collective shadow of a society unwilling to acknowledge its dark past. The unacknowledged darkness in a society doesn't just affect the individuals who are directly impacted by it. It shapes the entire culture. When we collectively repress or ignore certain issues, they fester and influence our behaviors in harmful ways. This is evident in how societal issues such as violence, discrimination, and war are often perpetuated when they remain unexamined. Collective projection is another form of the shadow at play in society. Just as individuals project their unconscious traits onto others, societies do the same, projecting their unacknowledged fears, anger, and insecurities onto marginalized groups. This projection creates divisions, conflicts, and cycles of suffering that can last for generations. Healing the collective shadow requires collective self-awareness and integration. It involves acknowledging the dark aspects of our shared history, culture, and systems, and confronting the ways in which these shadows influence current societal structures. This process isn't easy. It requires open dialogue, empathy, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. However, as we begin to bring the collective shadow into the light, we create space for healing and transformation on a societal level. By recognizing and integrating these hidden aspects, we can build a more just, compassionate, and whole society. The key to societal healing lies in collective consciousness, a shared commitment to self-awareness, accountability, and growth.